G'day all, Lee here, Fry's Garage. Little tech tip and more of a bit of a training exercise. So I've got a little ski boat here, an old Sonic, with the good old trusty 308 here. Now, it did overheat. Customer said it overheated quite a lot. Got over sort of the 100-degree mark on the gauge, which is hot for a boat. So he stopped it, and then when he took it home, he connected the garden hose, which is how we flush them. All right. And I said to him, look, connect the hose, run it at idle, and tell me if any water comes out the exhaust ports. Okay, so basically the exhaust ports, for those that don't know, on the boats, they're here. So to cool the exhaust, being an inboard marine, it needs water. So basically the standard circuit, okay, this is a standard cooling circuit for an inboard. So 6-cylinder, 8, 4, doesn't matter. They plumb the same. Now this is a non-thermostat controlled system, okay. All the newer boats have what we call a tower thermostat. So basically the engine is kept to a certain thermo-controlled temperature, whether it's 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, depending on if it's high horsepower, low horsepower. But this is basically fluid in, fluid out. The only thing that gives this engine heat is two things. The thermal heat created by the engine, burning of the fuel, and also as the cool water comes in, the exhaust manifolds heat up the water a little bit, and then that goes into the engine. All right, so generally running cold engines isn't great because they wear quickly, and also we go through a lot more fuel, harder to tune. All right, so we need some form of warm water going through the engine, and if we can keep it around sort of the 60-degree mark, that's plenty. All right, so this has got very old school, but we still use them naturally because they're a good efficient pump, just high maintenance, that's all. So this is a fin spray. There's Jabsco. There's a few other brands, but basically this is the common one, fin spray. It just has a rubber impeller in here. Okay, so this hose here comes from the bottom of the boat. This is what we call the force-fed induction line, and when the engine's at idle, so the boat is stationary, there's a vacuum on the draw side of the impeller. So it's going to draw the water naturally. Now when the boat starts motion, obviously the pickup is force fed a little bit. So this pump doesn't have to work as hard, and it's force fed there all the time. There's always fluid there ready to be pumped to the other side under pressure and through the engine. So very simple. Water in, raw water from the lake. Okay, this is what we call a non-closed or an open cooling system. Water in, the fan belt turns the impeller, okay? So it picks it up, pushes it out at a certain flow rate, which is obviously a certain amount of pressure. All right, now, primary function, number one, is cold water straight to the hot exhaust. All right, this is exhaust manifold, and it's a cast unit, and there's water jackets around the exhaust ports. Obviously, they're gonna get hot. Not ideal in a boat, so we wanna keep it nice and cool, okay? So, fluid here, being a V8, there's going to be one to the left side, all right? It will go through, primary function, cool the manifold, and then it will come out, okay? Comes out, and then back into the block, all right? Now remember, this circuit is the same on the left and the right side, okay? So the water then goes in the block, goes around the cylinder wells, all right, the cooling jackets, up through around the head, okay? And then on this particular engine being 308, there's a fitting drilled into the head, which is the fluid exit point, okay? And then it comes through that pipe along here, and that water exits, and it's basically injected straight into the exhaust pipe, which runs in through the boat to the exhaust on the end, all right, the exhaust tip. So basically, if we have no water exiting through to cool the exhaust gas in this pipe, this is going to get hot, and also we know that the engine is going to get super hot very quickly because we have no flow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've done that many of these now over the years, it's ridiculous. So I just know that there's going to be two things going on here. Either we've got a build up of bits of shrimp larvae, or you know, just crap from the river, some not river grass, leaves, you name it, whatever, contaminants, all right, foreign material, and it's blocked up here, or this impeller has fallen apart. I don't know when it was replaced. Generally, we change these every year, all right, so monthly with, so yearly with the service. And obviously if it doesn't get used for 2 or 3 years, then we don't change it. But sort of every 100 hours, we want to change that impeller, or at service, just pop the cap off and inspect it. Okay, so I'll stop the camera now. I'll pull the pump off. We'll take the back plate off and we'll have a look. All right, see you in a minute.